Hello, you amazing hackers. Hope you're all doing well today. So, recently we released a poll on the channel, and a lot of you guys indicated that you wanted to become a full time bug bounty hunter. Let me give you 5 reasons why that's probably not a great idea. So, let's get right into it, shall we? The first of all, I want to tell you about is that you really have to be able to push through when times are getting tough. And you really also need to be able to know when to stop, because a lot of bug bounty hunters, and this includes some of the people that I know, they suffer from burnout because they keep hunting and they keep hunting and they have to make money. Suddenly your income relies on being able to hunt, so you don't want to stop. You want to hack all night, and you probably already know, all of you hackers, that hacking all night isn't a good idea, at least not if you keep doing it repeatedly. But that's one thing that you're going to have to be able to do, so you have to be able to pace yourself really well. And not a lot of people have that natural tendency to be able to pace themselves, so you might run into burnout in the first couple of months when doing full-time bug bounty hunting, and that might put you off forever, which is not what we want from this. We want to have fun and we want to be able to make some extra money, but it's not a requirement for being happy with our bug bounty hunting. So you also have a family to support, probably, and that's number 4. You have your responsibilities, and you have to make sure that those responsibilities are met. It's really important that everybody around you and everybody that you have to take care of is being taken care of. You have to pay your bills, you have to pay your rent, you have to make sure that you have food on the table. So those are really important things, and it can be super stressful if you don't get those things. There are a couple other disadvantages, which I'll get into in a minute, but sucking the fun out of things that you really enjoy doing is not something that's positive, if you guys know what I mean. It's really something that you have to avoid doing. So that brings me on to number 3 for this point. It kind of takes the fun away from bug bounty hunting as well. When you have to provide for food, when you have to make sure that there's food on the table, that the bills are being paid, you kind of stop enjoying it, because you have this huge responsibility, and it, for me at least, it would take all of the fun away. I do bug bounty hunting because I want to find impactful bugs and because I want to make the internet a safer place, not because I like chasing the money, and I like the rush. That's why I like doing bug bounty hunting. For me, that rush you get when you find a vulnerability, when you pop a critical, that's unreplaceable. And I don't want to have to chase those feelings for my food instead of my enjoyment. So that's one of the reasons I would disadvise you guys becoming a full-time bug bounty hunter. Now, one of the other reasons, by the way, sorry for the shaking, on to number 2, it's super competitive. One of the things you're going to notice is that a lot of the bugs that you're going to find, especially in the beginning, everything is going to be picked clean, especially the paying programs. They're going to have a lot of hackers on them, and those hackers are also after the money. Of course they are after the money, otherwise they wouldn't go for the paid programs. They would stick with the responsible disclosure programs if they haven't already done them. So it's really competitive, and if you have to make sure that you have food on the table, competition is not something that most people can handle, at least not in this huge amount. You see that a lot of people in the bug bounty hunting, they find something really big, and that's something a lot of people dream of, finding that one giant vulnerability that will give you a huge boost. But you have to think that the cost of living is really high in some countries as well, so it highly depends on what country you live in, of course. But if you live in a country like me, where we're in Belgium, you have to pay a whole lot of taxes, you have to pay a whole lot of, you have to have a whole lot of expenses just to live, so it's not always a good idea for that reason. Now, that brings me on to my point number 1, which is that the pay is super irregular, and that's a giant turnoff, because 1 month you can get maybe 10,000, 20,000 euros, and maybe the next 3 or 4 months you get nothing. So you have to be able to really budget yourself, and it's not easy not knowing when your next paycheck is going to come in. that's something super stressful again. So all of these factors can add up. Now, that being said, if you live in a country that has low cost of living, if you are good enough where you can find consistent vulnerabilities, of course there is a whole lot of potential. But I wanted to give you guys a view of the downsides as well. That's really important. Now, one thing I want to end on, I'm sorry for you guys if I can't respond the way I want to on all of your comments and that kind of stuff. I'm a little bit behind because I also have my regular job and I also have my content creation, of course. But I will get to you guys, I promise. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed and I'll see you in the next video. Bye everybody.